Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Optimal EV. In this video, we're going to be doing a direct comparison between the Tesla Model 3 and BMW's i440.
And for those of you who are interested in other EVs like the F-150 Lightning, the Hyundai Ioniq 5, or the Kia EV6, we actually got a chance to see them in person at the Philly Auto Show, so stay tuned for more videos on them.
All right, so here we are on both of the manufacturer's pages for each car. And I think the first thing that we definitely just want to get across to you as the viewers is that our goal here is just to provide the most accurate, unbiased comparison between the two so that it helps you all make a better choice between the two cars if you're looking to buy them.
Of course, and we do obviously have our personal bias, which sometimes will show on certain features or certain colors. We're just going to build them however we like them. So
Right.
We talked about it beforehand, built the i4 how we would spec it on the 40, and then spec'd out the Tesla as well. This is the standard range Tesla, so it's the rear-wheel drive, as well as the 40 eDrive, which is also rear-wheel drive. So just getting those things out of the way first. We will compare other models of the Tesla and the BMW in the future.
As many of you might already know, Tesla's starting MSRP comes in significantly lower than BMW's at $44,990, whereas BMW's i440 starts at $55,400.
And the reason we did compare these two vehicles is because of that rear-wheel drive. They are the same in that sense. And also, once you add in a lot of the features, they do get very close in price, especially when you add on that self-driving feature by Tesla, which does separate itself when it comes to those capabilities.
Right. That was the call that we decided to make. We kind of figured that if you're going with a Tesla, one of the number one features that everyone looks forward to in these cars is full self-driving. It's currently something that they do far and better than anyone else at the moment, and it's definitely a key feature that you would look for when getting these cars, so we included it in the build.
When it comes to the range, you'll see on the i440, we have 282 miles to 301 miles. So on the 18-inch wheels with the performance tires, you would get the 301, and then you'd go down to the 282 once you upgrade to the 19-inch wheels. Very similar to the Tesla, if you have the 18-inch wheels, you would get the 272 miles, which is showing up top. If you switch, you'd go down to 267. And also you'll see on the side here that the 0 to 60 times close, but the Tesla has a 5.8 second 0 to 60, and the BMW has a 5.5 second 0 to 60. One thing that is not great though is that the BMW only has a top speed of 118 miles per hour.
That's true. It definitely doesn't go quite as fast. It might be quicker, but it doesn't go as fast as a Model 3. And
Yeah.
I also think that's something that's key to point out here is, of course, that if you upgrade both of these cars, you get significant performance increases. So we can definitely do a separate video on those performance increases. But as of right now, we just kind of want to compare base models here.
So first thing that comes to mind when looking at these two vehicles is the simplistic aspect of Tesla and kind of getting a more configured version of your BMW, how you like it. So we're just going to take a look at the colors first on the interior and exterior. To start, for BMW, you see there are plenty of colors to choose from. Some are cost options, and some are even $1,500 if it's a more unique paint.
We've done a full breakdown on all of the i440 options that are available in our previous video, so if you haven't seen that already, definitely make sure to check that out.
Yep, and then if you come to the Tesla, you'll see that we have 5 paints here. So again, some nice colors, but you just get a little more options on the BMW. If you're someone that doesn't care for exotic colors, then you can always go with these paints.
Tesla does a much better job at mass producing their cars because they limit, things like customizations. So, it really depends on what type of car you're really looking to get.
For sure. And that's another thing, the availability.
Right.
It might be a lot harder to get an i4, a lot longer wait time, especially because the vehicle just came out. Where the Tesla, you could order it and have it pretty fast, as you can see on the top, estimated delivery May 2022.
When it comes to the interior of both of these cars, as you can see, Tesla really only has 2 options. They have a white interior and a black interior, whereas obviously BMW, like we had just stated, has a lot more options for you to choose from.
Yeah, and that also is the same with the trims. So if you look, you can change it to the black, which will give you a wood trim on here. It's not a separate option to change the trim, so you have to get whatever trim is part of the interior.
Right.
And this is Sensatech, so that's what BMW calls it. As you can see, you have the Sensatech options. So that's what Tesla offers. They do not offer leather. You'll see that plenty of color options here for BMW, and then some extra leather options as well. So again, more customizability, but if you like the simple colors, Tesla still gets the job done. And briefly, we do have wheel options. Again, same thing as the exterior and interior. You'll see a lot more options on BMW's side, some different styles, and they will change your range. So, the 282 to the 301, And then for the Tesla, the 18-inch, which actually look really nice. If you look, has a black styling to it. Looks great with the blue and the door handles.
I see that a lot. That's probably the most common.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd upgrade to the 19s for that much money when you actually get less range out of it. Hey, again, all preference, but I think the black wheels look a lot better on the Tesla.
Me too. And let's talk tech. So Tesla obviously offers a much larger screen. Everything is centered around this big panel that's right in the middle of your car, whereas on BMW, you've got two separate screens. Things are still physical pressing buttons on the front center console, as you can see in this picture. And basically just the tech uniformity across both cars is a little bit different.
For sure. And, one thing with the two separate screens, it is one single screen, but it does separate the interfaces because BMW still does give you the front dash. So the speed isn't on the corner of the tablet like the Tesla. So some people prefer that, some people don't. It really just all depends on how, you enjoy driving. So we're going to go over a couple similarities and also some differences. So the similarities first, we have wireless charging for mobile devices, which is an option on the BMW and is standard on the Tesla. Then we have the automatic recording of the dash cam. So you can get recordings of the car if someone, runs into you or hits you.
I think these are really important features that are super underrated at the moment. I think when a car gets hit and these things activate and they can record the entire event. I've seen countless events already that are recorded on a Tesla dash cam and it's used as evidence in court, and it helps them out significantly. I think this type of technology is great to see in both cars.
And if it was your fault, just delete the footage and don't worry about it.
Can't advise doing that. We don't give any type of legal advice here.
No. One thing that is different between the two is one is the 360 camera recording. So it'll record the whole 360 on the BMW. The Tesla will record the cameras that it has available. So the side cameras and the backup camera.
Both of these cars do also offer a parking assistant, so it helps you pull in and out of your parking spot.
Yeah, and Tesla and BMW have both been known to have really good parking assistant features, but we also do recommend going and watching a video just so you know what you're doing before you let the car, it takes your life into its hands. So just make sure to watch a video first before doing that. And also one little difference between the two, BMW has a backup assistant feature that Tesla does not. So that's just one thing to look up and see if you would utilize that for your personal life.
For warranties between these two cars, they're very similar, but there are a few discrepancies between the two.
Yeah, so the BMW and the Model 3 both have the 4-year, 50,000-mile new car limited warranty, and they also have an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Now, don't get confused because Tesla does offer a higher mileage warranty on some of the other trims and on some of the other models like the Model S and the Model X. The difference is that BMW does provide a 3-year, 36,000-mile 3-year or 36,000-mile maintenance warranty, which would cover things like your brake fluids or your air filters, but obviously no oil changes, so that's nice.
Something that Tesla used to offer that they no longer do is charging credit. So as of right now, BMW offers 2 full years of charging credit when you go and charge your car so that you don't have to pay for that fee just yet. Tesla used to offer something similar to that a while back. I know that there are certain verification codes that allow you to get benefits for that, but I don't think they're offering those anymore.
Yeah, and some models still have it from being grandfathered in, some don't. And just to clarify, that is on level 3 charging. So you don't get any credits for in-house charging. You got to pay that in your electric bill. But, superchargers, you'll be not paying anything through Electrify America on BMW side.
Right. That also brings up another point, which is that Tesla's charging system is a little bit more exclusive than BMW. This is kind of where we start to diverge between the two. Tesla's system is completely, exclusive to Tesla's. There's adapters out there that allow you to use other charging stations for your Tesla, but as of right now, there's no cross compatibility directly through Tesla.
Yeah. And it does sound like that they are going to allow that at some point.
Right.
I know they've started that in other countries, but not here in the United States. But so BMW can't use Teslas, but Teslas can use everything right now. So that's something to, that's just notable for anyone purchasing one.
Yep.
All right, so there are some major differences when it comes to the interior and the technology, like the interface between both cars. One thing that really stands out is that you'll see on the BMW side that there are a lot more buttons towards the middle. It's really like your traditional vehicle, except for the massive screen that they're putting in. On the Tesla side, a lot more simplistic. You really don't see any buttons except for the steering wheel to control some of your media and other features, like the self-driving. But if you're going for a more simplistic style, definitely the Tesla is for you. If you want more of a traditional vehicle, then you'd go for the BMW i4.
The BMWs that are available right now are way more of a traditional car experience. If you're used to your car's, user interface being set up in a certain way and that works for you, then, maybe BMW might be a best choice for you. However, that being said, on Tesla, everything is much more simple. I think at first there's a huge learning curve.
Yes, once you get equipped to the screen, then
Right.
you're learning a lot, and then you can kind of take care of everything easily from there.
The interface for Tesla is going to be a lot different than what you're used to because everything goes through that screen. You have to click and find where all of the menus are that you're normally used to accessing in different places in your car.
It's basically an iPad, but with a different interface than the iPad. And, to segue from that, you won't be able to get Apple CarPlay or Android Auto on the Tesla, but you will be able to get both wirelessly on the BMW.
Right. That's kind of a big deal, I think, at this point. I would assume that at some point in the future, Tesla decides to allow both to have access to their car. It seems foolish for them to wait so long to do it anyway, but I guess we'll have to see what they decide.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just are used to CarPlay from, tons of other brands who give it standard, and then Android Auto, which, has been a little newer than CarPlay, but still a great interface, just like your phone. And then that goes into another feature for BMW. You can actually use the 5G SIM card, the eSIM they call it, to connect your phone to the car so that even if your phone's not on you, you can still take calls from it and, make calls out of it. So it's an actual SIM card in the car. You will have to pay for that subscription, but it is a nice feature.
Something else that these two cars have in common is that your phone can act as a key. However, they function a little bit differently from each car. In BMW, you still have to walk up and unlock the car with your phone, whereas on a Tesla, if you have your phone on you, it will unlock for you automatically.
Yeah, and not to get that confused, the BMW just came out with the i4 and the iX. The iX will allow you to keep your phone in your pocket, but the i4 will not, okay? So just make sure we clarify that the i4 cannot do that. You have to put it up to the door. The Tesla, you can walk up, just put your hand on the door and unlock the car.
So when it comes to connectivity packages, BMW and Tesla both offer a specific package. On Tesla, on the right here, you can see that there are some specific features that aren't really common in any other brand, which is internet browsing and like karaoke, which is like you sing into your car and it projects out of the car. Pretty cool.
Scare some people.
Yeah. Video streaming. There are a lot of common features that this has that other cars share, which is like live traffic visualization, your satellite view maps, as well as just regular music streaming. You can basically just have a Spotify app on your phone, on your car.
BMW does give it to you for 4 years. Tesla does give you a 30-day trial, so definitely not as long as 4 years, but they also do have a lot better features in there, like that, the stuff Sam just mentioned. They do both have unlocking of the car, locking the car, remote features like, preconditioning the cabin, and, tracking the car as well. So for anyone who needs those services, they're on both cars, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you want some of the cool, fun features like the karaoke, you will need the Tesla.
Something else definitely worth mentioning here is that Tesla's interface is designed kind of around goofing around and gaming and just entertainment in general.
Yeah, you can't play games on the BMW.
Yeah, exactly. You can't play games on there, and I'm sure there are countless things that you can find on other channels that have basically the craziest things you can find in Tesla between games or singing or just streaming videos and movies.
The car dancing or flashing lights.
Your car can dance in a
lot.
parking lot. It's pretty insane. We're not really comparing apples to apples here when we're talking about, what the technology in the car can do.
Yeah, we're basically just giving you the base information so that when you're looking to purchase a car for, the qualities that you need, you'll find them here. But if you want to find out some of the crazy features on both cars, you can, look more in depth for them.
Some of the other features that we do want to hit on with the interior of the car are things like heads-up display. That's something that currently BMW offers, while Tesla does not.
Big fan.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, I love the heads-up display. I think it's just less distracting. You don't take your eyes off the road. For Tesla, having the speed on the corner, it's just, for me, I'd rather look at the heads-up display, but again, it's all preference.
Yeah, my preference is also with the heads-up display. I've recently test-driven a car that had one, and it's really nice to not have to constantly look anywhere else besides like your windshield to get certain information, and whether or not that heads-up display includes navigation or just the speed, everything that you can get there is a lot better to have than having to look somewhere else.
Yeah, it really blends in the road. And I know a lot of people do complain that the heads-up display might distract them. And again, it really is just all about how you drive and what your preference is. Because I've heard people absolutely hate it, who will never use it, and people who absolutely love it. So, you definitely have to try it for yourself.
Next up, we have the sound system that is in both cars. Currently, BMW offers a base level of 10 speakers with an upgraded option for 17, which is a ton of speakers. These things sound really good. Tesla's base audio system is 8 speakers, and it is non-upgradable.
Still great sound, I've heard from the Tesla. So both have great speaker systems. It's just that obviously the Harman Kardon upgrade is going to be substantially better than the Tesla's sound.
Right. If you're not an audiophile, obviously not a deal breaker for you.
Yeah. For us, we do enjoy our music. So you know, it'd be a nice option to have. Next would be the ambient lighting. So you can get colored ambient lighting in the BMW. In the Tesla, you cannot. So that's something that's definitely important to some people, but to others, it doesn't really matter.
Right. We're not going to be able to hit every single tiny detail for the differences between these two cars because, you know, obviously they're not the exact same car, but we kind of just wanted to hit on major features that we think you and we think are important in a car.
Especially when going to buy one. So
right.
It's a lot of money. Last thing that's different between the two is that Tesla does get this nice large glass pane over the top. You'll see the separation, but it has this nice kind of UV protection. I remember when it came out, I was super impressed. It's definitely something that's unique to the industry.
Yeah. I think Teslas have a really distinct way of having tons of visibility when you're sitting in the driver's seat, whether it's, you know, above you or around you or right in front of you. These things are really easy to see out of.
Yeah, especially how the front face kind of like points down.
Yeah.
You have great vision. There's so much glass.
Yep.
I don't know how much it costs to fix all the glass, but it's amazing vision.
Yep.
And then on the top, you have or on the left side, you have the BMW with the regular sunroof. So that opens and closes as most sunroofs do. So a little boring on that side. The Tesla really does have a cool, unique feature in that aspect.
Yeah. One last thing that I'd like to cover before we wrap this up is something that maybe is not super interesting in terms of features or technology, but the service network that you have available for each car in the awful occurrence that you get into an accident. So BMW, as of right now, has thousands and thousands of service departments all over the country, whether you're in, you know, West Coast, East Coast, anywhere, you're gonna be able to find a BMW manufacturer near you to service your car. Whereas with a Tesla, that's not always the case.
Yeah, and one thing that Tesla does have that BMW doesn't, they do have a remote service team that will go out with the actual, you know, to your house and do certain, you know, service updates or anything that they can do outside of the service department. But obviously, there are still a lot of limitations to that when it comes to, you know, things that go wrong with the car. So definitely keep that in mind.
You might be able to get your car sooner with a Tesla, but in the off chance that you need repairs, you know, you might be looking at several weeks, if not months, to get that same car back.
Yeah, we're just gonna highlight a couple things, then we're gonna get into the price. So BMW, if you weren't aware, they actually just came out with that they aren't using any cobalt for the batteries for the i4. So if that's important to you, definitely you know, look into that a little more. Also, they do still qualify for the $7,500 tax credit in the United States. If you want to see our tax credit video, go check that out. We kind of give you all the guidelines on how you can receive that. And you'll see we came out to $64,675. With destination, it would be at $65,670. And for the Tesla with destination, you'd be at $61,940.
These are both pretty close in price, and I think what really differentiates this is the self-driving features. You know, if you're going with a Tesla, you're very likely going to be picking full self-driving, which is a $12,000 package. It's also one of the greatest features that Tesla has to offer because it allows you to have your car drive for you. If that's something you feel safe with doing, it's probably something you've been looking forward to for a long time. But for those of you who would much rather drive the car yourself, then obviously the BMW is most likely going to be what you would prefer.
For sure. I mean, what was your first reaction when you pulled alongside a Tesla and just saw someone like hanging out on their phone while the car was driving? I mean, to me, it was weird.
Yeah, it's super weird, but honestly, my next reaction is jealousy. Like, I wish I could be relaxing my car, not having to drive it all the time, just like they are. There are times where I will definitely want to drive my car, and there's a lot of times where I don't. So
yeah, it's nice to have the option. I mean, and just to clarify, the BMW does have the you know, driving for the highway, the assisted driving, but you do still have to touch the steering wheel as well.
Right.
So, you know, just differences, and it would definitely be cool to be able to let the car drive for me, be my little chauffeur.
Yeah. For those of you who have tried it, you can tell. There's a big difference between assisted driving and full self-driving to the point where they're almost not really comparable. You know, obviously, if you're driving down a highway, both are going to keep you in the lane, but is one going to be able to take you, from the store and back to your house and all the way in between?
Yeah, and you still obviously have to pay attention. It's not error proof. There are things that will stop the function.
Yep.
And that you'll have to take over on the ride. So it's
Definitely,
not.
you can't be sleeping.
Yeah, it's not. When you say full self driving, it is going to drive for you on back roads and highway, but you have to make sure that you're paying attention and that you avoid obstacles and things like that.
Yep.
So definitely don't just hang out or sleep. All right, so that wraps up our BMW i440 versus the Tesla Model 3 Standard. Again, we did, compare these two with the self-driving feature on the Tesla, $12,000. I know it's a lot, but it really does make it go up against the BMW when it comes to technology. So we thought that it was appropriate to add those features, load both of them up to see how they would look head-to-head. And we will do an i4 M50 versus a Model 3 Performance sometime soon.
We did our best to try and cover as many key features as we could between both of these cars, but obviously there's going to be a few details here and there that we missed. With that being said, if you have any questions at all or any concerns about certain information that we missed, drop them down in the comment section below. We'd love to answer your questions or, maybe go at it and determine which car is best for you or, have a type of conversation down in the comments. So as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all in the future.